Thank you very much, Mary Beth, for that kind introduction. I wish I were in Worcester with all of you, Mary Beth, and with all of your colleagues to celebrate, because today is a day of celebration for all the great work that you all have achieved day in and day out. And I'm so proud to be invited to join you. The work that you're doing to not only sustain, but to grow my dad's vision of the importance of community action really makes me wish I were in Worcester. I went to the College of the Holy Cross. I was just in Worcester a couple months ago at Polar Park. I'm such a big admirer of the culture and the history and the people from Worcester. My roommate in college went to St. John's, Sean Duffy. He was from Worcester. And he always spoke and does speak so highly of that great city. I just hope that one day soon I'll be able to join you, Mary Beth, and all of your colleagues in Worcester. I've written down a few words, so let me jump into it. I really am excited about being with you all today. Since 1965, when my dad first drove President Johnson's War on Poverty, community action has been such an integral part of that approach. And my father spoke so often of the importance of community action, of empowering people to make their own decisions in the local community and to bring the resources to bear to help people achieve whatever their goals are. And there's so much evidence now that community action is needed more today than perhaps at any other point in its history. What we've seen over the last 2 years has been devastation for far too many individuals and their families. It has highlighted, the pandemic has highlighted the inequalities that have existed in our communities and in our neighborhoods for far too long. But what it's also done over the last 2 years is to highlight the power and the purpose of community action and the critical importance of safety net, wraparound, and mobilization programs such as those provided by WCAC. Those are efforts that respond to these inequalities. Programs such as fuel assistance and Head Start are true backbones of the Community Action Network. And I'm thrilled to see among WCAC's honorees this morning several who have dedicated their time, their energy, and their resources to those very efforts. My work at Save the Children, we run Head Start programs across the country, so I know a little bit of what I speak, not as much as all of you, but I know that these are critical pieces, critical parts of the backbone of every community. As my experience as a legislator and at SAVE and at Don Bosco Cristo Rey High School, where I am today, that success doesn't happen on its own, but requires strong partnerships, great teamwork, and a passion for place and people. And I couldn't think of better examples of that than community action. And I really do mean that. In learning about WCAC's work in Worcester and in southern Worcester County, there are countless examples of WCAC has met the moment to partner with and serve children, families, youth, and households all across the region to really meet that mission. We should always take a moment to reflect on our work, our achievements, and take advantage of opportunities to better ourselves. I can't think of a better way to pause for a moment and do that than to celebrate through WCAC's Resiliency Award and recognize your work and the work of your critical heroes. Dad once said, and I quote, "What can change the world today is the same thing that has changed it in the past, an idea and the service of dedicated, committed individuals to that idea." Congratulations, WCAC, and to all of you gathered today for living that dedication and commitment. It's now my distinct honor to present WCAC's first ever Sargent Shriver Trailblazer Award. I love that, Sargent Shriver Trailblazer Award. This award is given to an individual or organization making remarkable contributions to improving the lives of those in need, having demonstrated a collaborative spirit and tireless efforts to impact policy and affect substantive change. My dad would be so proud of that. Demonstrated a collaborative spirit and tireless efforts to impact policy and affect substantive change. I love it. For more than 2 decades, our honoree, Ann Bureau, has been a community leader in Worcester, developing and supporting numerous groups in support of families, including the Economic Mobility Task Force, the Worcester Zero Fair Task Force, the Parent Mental Health Ambassador Project, and the Cares for Kids Babysitting Training Program, all to help improve the lives of families in Worcester. Wow, that's a lot of action and a lot of work. And work has roots within WCAC, where the work of Worcester Community Connections began. She has grown this work incredibly and has been a tried and true partner of WCAC and many organizations across our community for decades. Anne is an embodiment of perseverance and tenacity, graceful diplomacy, modest courage, and relentless veritas. Anne is often the wind giving fuel to so many sails, and the Worcester community is better because of her. Please join me in recognizing and thanking Anne Bureau of Worcester Community Connections for her tireless support and advocacy for low-income working families. Thank you very much, Anne. I know my dad is in heaven, smiling down on you and all of those in attendance today, and I hope we get together one day in person. I want to hand this award to you in person and to congratulate you, and thank you so much for that incredible amount of work you've done. Thank you all again for having me. Really appreciate it. Go Community Action.